Welcome back to another Hustle Buddies video where we share tools, tips, and advice for Amazon sellers. I am Nate, and in today's video, let's talk about this Adidas and Nike nonsense that's still going on, okay? So I made a video a week or two ago about suddenly Adidas basically restricting all these newer sellers or people just getting kicked off who were once ungated and now they're regated, people freaking out. And basically I said, just weather the storm. I mean, in more words, there's a couple things that could happen, but most likely, in my opinion, it just kind of works itself out. Things like this have happened. And what do you know? Pretty much everyone who was gated or regated in Adidas as of today are now ungated. In fact, we were talking to a couple friends who have never been ungated in Adidas, who went to check their account, and they are now ungated in Adidas without ever applying to it. So all of this is to say, stuff happens on Amazon. Just the past couple days, it's now Nike, where Nike is like hard locked, where newer sellers, you're not even capable of applying to get ungated in this. And older sellers, they still have it, but some of them are a little bit worried. I have seen this happen so many times. Is there a chance that this sticks? Yes. And that kind of sucks for newer sellers. I mean, you'll have to go find other brands. It's kind of nice for the people who are already selling it. That's kind of great because you're not going to have as much competition anymore. Do I think it's going to stay like that? I'd be surprised because I've seen this happen a couple times and then it just gets reverted later on. But it's all part of the game, guys. When you are running a successful Amazon business, you can do two things when Amazon throws you crazy curveballs like this. You can complain about it. You can go to the seller forums, you can go to the Facebook group, you can go to the comment section of a YouTube video and write about how ridiculous Amazon is and how they're driving away all their customers and their clients and whatever, blah, 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 blah. Or you can react to it and you can pivot and you can adjust and you can find a new trajectory. Sometimes it's a small pivot. Sometimes it means, all right, I'm just going to sell other brands, or I'm not going to stress out about this, or I'm going to control that which I can control. I'm going to go look for my profitable products. I'm going to do more of my high income producing activities. Okay. So sometimes it means that, or sometimes it means a hard pivot. Sometimes it means, you know what? Like so much of my business was around Nike or was around Adidas and now it's not, or now I'm a little bit worried. I'm going to hard pivot and I'm going to go sell on Walmart. And maybe this is the kick in the butt that you need to open up a Walmart account and start selling stuff on Walmart.com, which is great, by the way, if you're not already doing that. So these things, use them as pivot points. There's no use complaining about it. There's no use getting frustrated about it because you can't control it. Okay. If we're going to worry about stuff that we can't control, we're going to worry ourselves to death. So focus on your business, focus on your actual income producing activities. And then when you need to pivot, be ready to pivot. Okay. I don't have much more advice other than that, guys. This is all part of running a successful business. I feel like e-commerce is a little bit different than a brick and mortar. The rules don't change quite as fast when you have a physical storefront. It's harder to start. It's harder to get in. It takes a lot more money up front to get into like a physical storefront, but you can sort of get comfortable. Once you're in, and you can just kind of coast and do whatever. With Amazon, the barrier to entry is much lower. Again, like we started this with $100. What kind of brick and mortar store can you start with $100? That's impossible. But we started this with $100 and we've been running a successful 7-figure business. Okay? Like multiple millions of dollars from basically nothing. But the drawback or the counterpoint to that is you do need to be ready to pivot. You need to be on your toes. You can't just get comfortable. You can't sit back and relax and, all right, I've got all my replens now and I'm just going to sit back and do my own thing and not worry about it. You should always be ready to pivot. You should always be ready, be exploring new avenues for revenue, be exploring new categories, be exploring new brands, new stores that you can source from, because you never know. Maybe your favorite storefront, and this happened to us, our favorite storefront that we were purchasing, honestly, at least 70% of all of our products was coming from one specific retail store for quite a long time. Well, what happened when that retail store went belly up and they went bankrupt and that retail store no longer exists? We had to pivot, okay? And I was able to do that because while I was still getting 70% plus of my inventory from this one store, I was exploring new places. I was getting ready to pivot if I had to. I had uh, multiple stones in different fires on whatever that saying is. All right, there's multiple things going on. Okay, I didn't put a lot of focus into them, but I had enough knowledge and enough focus where if I had to switch, I could switch. And that's what we see happening now with the Adidas stuff, with the Nike stuff. Now, again, in my opinion, is this stuff going to stick? Is it going to be a long-term issue? In my opinion, no. That's just my opinion. I think it'll be business as usual. Come next week, I think all the stuff will go right back. But that's what we're looking at, and I feel like I see a lot of people freak out, especially on social media. It's easy to do that, and then more people jump on. It's like, oh yeah, always dying. Oh, always terrible now. It's all these new sellers ruining it, or it's all these gurus ruining it. All these stupid YouTube videos that tell you how easy it is. And I hope that I'm not one of those YouTubers who made this seem like an easy business. Like, this is hard work. It's a simple business. Okay, it's a very repeatable, easy to follow steps. Like, I don't have any secrets that I keep from people. It's not like, here's all. I mean, maybe there's some storefronts that I go to that I don't talk about, or some like brands that I really like selling. But there's no like big secrets like, oh, Nate is using this crazy tool that he never talks about because he wants to keep his cards close to his chest. It's not like that. Like, anyone can run a successful Amazon business. It's hard work, but it's not difficult work, if you sort of understand what I'm saying. You got to put in the time, you got to put in the grind, you got to put in the work, you got to learn this. This is a learned skill. Sourcing is a learned skill. You will suck at it when you first start. I sucked at it when I first started. You will get better. The more you do it, the better that you will get at sourcing, and that's the biggest skill here. So that's sort of my takeaway. Continue building your skills. Continue talent stacking within your Amazon business. And pivot if you have to. Maybe pivot to Walmart, maybe pivot to other brands, maybe pivot to other categories. Whatever it is, do the whole Ross thing from Friends and pivot. All right, we'll see you in the next one, guys. Hustle on.